wildflowers and friends. Whew, I'm back. I had a short. A short that talked about the MB and how at the end of a one-syllable word. We're going to review that a little bit. I erased the line under B because we're going to see it, but we're not going to say it. There's no sound with it. We're going to have 1, 2, 3 sounds. The mid, This is going to be a closed syllable. Yep. At first, but there's lots of exceptions. So we said that now we're going to do, it's not closed yet. Now it is. There's a consonant letter on both sides. If you want to really hear me talk about that, go back to the short and listen to that. Lim. But then I talked about, which is crazy, that if we have, sometimes we also have the exact same spelling, because when we have two consonants, it boxes it in, it closes it in, it makes the short I sound. I says I. But sometimes, look at this. I'm going to make this a blend. Im? No. I'm. The one thing that for sure doesn't happen is the B doesn't make any sound. Yeah. So we talked about that. Now watch. Let's try. If we want to make it the plural or the singular form, we'll put an S. Climbs. The girl climbs. It's nothing changed here. We still don't hear the B. Climbs. If we want to take this off, we have limbs. Instead of having a limb like an arm, there's mine. Woohoo. And, I got to put a line under the S because we do hear that, but we're skipping this. Limbs. No. We also talked about, I'm going to keep the S up there. Why not, right? This combs, like honeycombs. I like those, long O, or combs. We use those in our hair. Here's comb, a singular. Well, it's plural if you want to talk about an action. Or singular if you're talking about a thing, a noun. Combs, that's plural. We'll talk about singular and plural in a different. All right. Different lesson, sorry. I'm trying to do two things at once. We talked about that. Now watch. Well, and let's make that more than one. 2 thumbs up. I still only have one line here because TH makes one sound. 2 letters, one sound. Thumbs. I think my S is upside down still. Here we go. I feel better, do you? Thumbs. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just had to check. How many sounds? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wow. Now, what happens? Sometimes an MB is we have 2 syllables. We have one over here, and we have one over here. And I'm going to put a dot in the middle. That means it's a syllable break. When we were putting S on the words, we were not adding a syllable. We were just adding a sound. Now we're going to do, our rum. But we're going to break it. I want to have a different marker for breaking it. I'm going to use, look what happens. My M and my B split. We can hear the M in the first. This is a closed syllable. Rum. And now I'm going to put an L. Remember, each syllable has to have a vowel sound. In this case, the L is kind of controlling the E. We don't hear it. Rumble. Yep. We do have we can visually see it. And what sounds do we have back there? Those are not a CBC. There's a blend. Bull. Can't really hear the E's, so I'm not going to underline it. Rumble. Maybe if you're not talking loud enough, follows the same rule. Syllable number 1, mumble. So what do we have here? This is a consonant, so is this. So we have a closed syllable at the beginning. Yeah. Consonant, vowel, consonant. And then this one has a consonant, and a vowel, specifically an E. Yeah. And the second syllable. When you have 2 syllable words with an MB in the middle, you do hear them both. All of a sudden the B does some talking. Mumble. Let's try this. I'm blending it. Yeah, you're getting into some pretty big words here. Yeah. There's a blend. So now we have 2 C's. Doesn't change what's going on. You always look at what's going on by the vowel. Doesn't change anything. But these 2 are blending. B-ol. I even feel like putting an E here. This is a very specific vowel back here. L with an E. In fact, yeah. We're learning a lesson here about what happens when you put an L-E on the end of words. Oh, you don't hear the E. Yep. So let's see. There's crumble. There's, Let's try another one here. B, L, and that silent E, bowl. I'm going to keep crumble up there as a sample. So we have crumble. We talked about what's going on in syllable 1 and syllable 2. Yep. Now we're going to do let's do another MB because that's what we're practicing. And what we're noticing is when you have 2 syllables, when it's in the middle, you hear both and you break it. You're going to hear the M in the first syllable and the B in the second one. So let's do, look at that. Humble, not a word. This one is humble. Let's do himble, not a word. But we're going to do the TH. Remember, TH is 2 letters with 1 sound. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. I'll put the lines underneath it. Why not? We have to sort of think about what we got going on here. Yeah. Thimble. Let's do timble. Not a word. But if we put the U back up there, oops. Took off the wrong letter. What am I doing? Tumble. Tumble. Yeah. Let's do this happens in football. We don't love it, but it happens. Fumble. Fumble. Look at this. Let's do an A. A says ah. Most of them are doing the short vowel sound. We like that. Amble. Now let's do I don't know. Let's put an R there. Ramble. Ramble. Let's do some, here's one. When you bet on things, you you bet that you're going to win. Gamble. Gamble. Let's do some nonsense just because we need to be. We need to get these sounds right. Vamble. Now that's a nonsense word, but vam is in front of words like vampire.